Hello Malaysians. This morning it's 7:30 now, and it is the 26th of April, and I'm speaking from my home in Perth. I say hello to my fellow Malaysian brothers and sisters in Sabah and Sarawak. I speak particularly to the Sabahans and the Sarawakians. Well, this morning I read in the Malaysian Insider that Minister Dong Pok has released a press statement, very courageously, I must say, released a press statement that the Christians will continue to use the word Allah in defiance of the court order that prohibits them from using this word. And that is the courage that we must have with the leaders of Sabah and Sarawak. Take back your independence. Take back your sovereignty. Why do you Sabahans and Sarawakians allow yourself to be kicked like footballs by the Malays? I ask you again, is the Chief Minister of Sarawak an Iban? Is the Chief Minister of Sabah a Dayak? Why is it that Sabah and Sarawak cannot have their own natives as Chief Minister for 60 years? Why is it that Penang can have a Chinese Chief Minister from Penang? Beginning with Mr. Lim Chong Yu, and then went on to his son Lim Keng Yik and whatever. I don't know the history of Penang so well, but Penang has always had a Chinese Chief Minister. Why is it that Sabah and Sarawak cannot have an Iban as a Chief Minister, cannot have a Kadasan as Chief Minister? Why is it? Are they that stupid? Are they more stupid than the Malays? Are the Malays so intelligent, so well read, so well gifted with so much wisdom that only a Malay can be Chief Minister of Sabah and Sarawak? How many Malays are there in Sabah and Sarawak? How many? 80% of you are native Sabahans and Sarawakians, composing of Ibans, Dayaks, Kadasans, Muruts, and so on and so on. I don't know the number of these tribal groupings, but 80% or even 90% of you are Sabahans and Sarawakians of native origin. Why is it that you have never been governed by a Chief Minister who is a Dayak or a Kadasan or a Murut or a Iban? Why is it? It is because the Malays look down on you. They look on you, Sabahans and Sarawakians, as nothing more than Aborigines. In Australia, the Aborigines are they are the ones that the white people step on. But even now, they are gaining ground, and they are getting more and more out of the white people. And as a matter of fact, they are getting more out of the white people than the white people got for themselves. So, for you Sabahans and Sarawakians, what about that? Why don't you follow the footsteps of your natives in Australia? You see, there's nothing wrong with being Iban, Murut or Kadasan or whatever. What is there missing in you? You are just as educated, you are just as intelligent, and you are just as wise as any of the Malays who have served as your chief minister, as your state secretary, as a CPO. Why is it that people like Mr. Bamburin, why is it that people like Bamburin, I heard him speak the other day, he was very articulate, and to my mind, he was a very articulate, very gifted orator. I enjoyed listening to him because he was so logical and so clear. You know, I would say he is the Lee Kuan Yew of Sabah. Hey, Mr. Bamburin, Lee Kuan Yew of Sabah, take back Sabah for the Sabah natives. Don't forget about the Malays in Sabah and Sarawak. You have a chief minister in Sarawak, Taib Mahmud, who's so corrupt, is revealed out there with all the bloody videos showing you that Taib Mahmud is so fucking corrupt, and you are still electing people from UMNO, and by that you are electing Taib Mahmud. Where is the fucking common sense to you people in Sarawak? Well, I'm coming back to the Allah issue. You see, the law applies to everybody. It applies to Peninsular Malaysia, applies to Sabah, and applies to Sarawak, all the same. Nobody is above the law. Remember this. No one is above the law. Why is it that because of this 13th general election, half of Sabah is Christian, half of Sarawak is Christian? So, why is it that Najib exempts Sabah and Sarawak from the severity of this ridiculous, uncivilized law that says that non-Muslims cannot use the word Allah? Where is your freedom of religion, my brothers in Sabah and Sarawak? Why don't you practice your freedom of religion? Elect Pakatan, negotiate back your rights as citizens of Malaysia under the Federation of Malaya Agreement. Go and negotiate and get back all your rights that were deprived you by Mahathir and his cronies in his dirty old days. This is my message to you today. People of Sabah and Sarawak, for God's sake, grow up and vote Pakatan. Vote Pakatan so that you can at least get an opportunity to negotiate back all your rights under the Constitution. Why do you allow the Malays to kick you around? They kick the Chinese around. Yeah, we got no choice because we are only 20%. And they got a whole army, and they got the whole police, and they got everybody on their side. And we cannot open our mouth, because when the Chinese open their mouth, straight, bam, it goes right into ISA, into prison, solitary confinement. But not for you people in Sabah and Sarawak, because you form 80% of the people of Sabah and Sarawak. Why grumble about it? I see all these leaders, Kitingang and this Tek Lee, Yong Tek Lee or Ong Tek Lee or whatever shit, you know, all of them complaining about this their bad treatment by the Malays. And yet, here is a chance for you. How can you negotiate with the Barisan National Government? Because for 60 years, you've been asking them back for your oil money, for your rights as citizens under the Constitution. For 60 years, you haven't been able to achieve anything. How do you expect to achieve anything? When they make promises, when Najib make promises to you, they are promises to keep. Promises to keep means it is in the future. When they are in government, they'll kick you around just like before. You know, you cannot go back to Najib. It is like a divorce. You cannot, once you left the house, you cannot go back in again. Right? Vote Pakatan, for God's sake. Vote Pakatan. Well, good morning, my brothers. I'll be coming up again. The election is coming up too soon, and I've got to keep up with the fierce pace of this campaign towards the 13th general election. Vote Pakatan! Vote Pakatan!